Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Pinata by Leopoldo Goat. This is a horror novel from Tor Nightfire. It comes out in March, I believe. Anyway, it comes out shortly. I received this e-arc from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. Thank you so much, Tor Nightfire. Also, there are no spoilers in this review. As a slow burn horror novel, Pinata really shines in the parallels between possession and cultures destroyed by colonialist violence. What is it about? Carmen Sanchez is back in her home country of Mexico, overseeing the renovation of an ancient cathedral in a boutique hotel. Her daughters, Isel and Luna, are with her for the summer and left to fill their afternoons unsupervised in a foreign city. The locals treat the Sanchez women as outsiders, while Carmen's contractors openly defy and sabotage her work. After a disastrous accident at the construction site nearly injures Luna, Carmen's had enough. They're leaving. Back in New York, Luna begins acting strange, and only Isel notices the chilling changes happening to her younger sister. But it might be too late for the Sanchez family to escape what's been awakened. If you couldn't tell, I am not Latinx, nor do I have a single drop of Hispanic blood in my body, but I did take Spanish in high school and university. Can I speak it? No, not anymore. I never used it outside of school. I didn't have anyone to talk to, speak it with, so I lost it. I was able to have a few kind of halting conversations with a cook when I stayed in Manzanillo a few years ago, mainly about how we needed more bananas and apples and to request huevos rancheros for breakfast one time. And one time in rural Puerto Rico, my bad Spanish was instrumental, I will say, in ordering pizza, though I accidentally ordered us like one massive garlic bread per pizza instead of one garlic bread total, and there were like four pizzas, so we basically had four massive pizzas and then four like equally massive garlic breads. Not a bad mistake, to be honest, to order extra garlic bread, but anyway, that's the extent of my Spanish. But because of my Spanish lessons in school, I know a bit about the history of pre-colonial peoples and the religions as well, and I really love the cultures. I hope this doesn't come across as like appropriation or something. I can't think of the right word, but I find the history fascinating and so rich, and it's incredibly sad how most of it was, eradicated by the conquistadors and Christianity. My daughter is also obsessed with the show Maya and the Three on Netflix, which to be honest, I love too. So anyway, I'm rambling about this to say that because I have a deep interest in the cultural and historical aspects of this novel, I was so stoked to receive an e-arc copy. On to the actual review. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. The thing is, though, and I should have been aware of this going in, but I don't find possession stories scary in the slightest, regardless of who's possessing whom. I was swayed, though, by the description and the cover, which is absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at it. As such, while I loved certain aspects of the novel, I didn't find it frightened me at all. I was perfectly fine walking down the hallway in the dark after reading it. That's how I read how scary a book is. Not scary, I can walk around in the dark. Kind of scary, I use my phone to walk around. Really scary, I like cower in my bed. And super scary is I have to read something else while cowering in my bed before sleeping. So this was definitely not that scary. I haven't read a ton that have been super scary, but anyway. While the book wasn't scary to me, though, I loved the link between the reason for the possession and the colonialist history. The author, from his biography, is from Mexico, so the cultural and historical aspects in that sense are authentic, and I learned a bunch of stuff too. I loved that part of it immensely. That was so interesting to me. I also liked the characters. Carmen is being pulled in so many directions as a single mom and a woman in a male dominated field. For a male writer, Goat really nailed not only the sexism women experience in their daily lives, but the fears mothers have and how these fears can compile and overwhelm. Unlike a haunted house where you're like, why don't you just leave? When Carmen notices weird stuff happening, she has valid reasons for not getting the hell out of Dodge right away. It made sense. Everything in this book makes sense. It's very well thought out and intricate. And there's nothing that feels kind of just thrown in there. It's very well done in that regard. I thought Isel and Luna are great as well. It was nice to see a normal, loving teenage girl for once, because usually, they're always like either not into being close with their parents, or they're like kind of rebellious. But Isel's just like a sweet normal girl, and Luna was adorable. The other two characters, Yotzi and Quatili, I'm so sorry, I couldn't find out how to pronounce it, are great as well. Along with it not being scary, though, the prose didn't work well for me. Perhaps it's because it's an arc, but there were a lot of long winded explanations that could have been cut down, and overuse of the word suddenly was really surprising to me in a traditionally published book. As an editor, I can't ignore that, and I'll be honest, it kind of irked me. For those of you not aware, suddenly should be used maybe twice per book. Most of the time, the word is a crutch that should be replaced with a transition phrase. But yeah, I was just kind of like, really? Again, though, because it's an arc, this might be cleared up. I also found that the story dragged a bit in the center, and a lot of the horror stuff is almost rushed over in the last quarter. I guess I could say the book had a minor pacing issue. One thing I really appreciated in the book, though, was how the spread of missing and murdered women in Mexico, which we also have an issue with here in Canada with Indigenous women, does not turn out to be part of the supernatural element. I was a bit worried about that, as had that been the case, I would have been frustrated that the onus of femicide was taken off society's hands, but that isn't the case. That's not a spoiler, as that's not really a part of the story at all. But something I just wanted to bring up as something that I appreciated. There are many great things about this novel, actually, and just a few that didn't work for me, and that's fine. I think Go should write a historical fiction or historical fantasy about the pre-colonial era, because the scenes set in the past and his attention to detail are fantastic. I would love to read that. Overall, I do recommend this novel, especially if you love possession stories, and this one comes at it from like a different angle. And if you love when the motivations behind a horror creature or monster or whatever is rooted in reality and has a rich and detailed backstory. I really did enjoy this book, and yeah, thanks for watching, and totally check it out. Thanks, and thanks again to Tor Nightfire for the e-arc. I really appreciated it.